So today's the craziest day ever. I go watch the Super Bowl, and I hear from a friend. He was like, "Did you see the Cloverfield trailer?" And I was like, "Oh, there's a Cloverfield," because I was watching it a few minutes behind because of the people I was watching it with. They were behind, and it was crazy because I saw it, and then it goes Netflix at the end, and I was like, that's fine. I don't care. I'll go see it on Netflix. Like, I don't care. Even better, I don't have to pay for it. I'll just stay at home. And then I go, Rachel comes out of the bathroom a little bit later, and she's like, "Oh, do you hear, they're saying that, it premieres tonight." And I'm like, are you kidding me? Because I'm so excited for this movie. I've been excited for this movie since I heard it was called The God Particle, couple months ago. And, I knew about the cast for a while and the director and everything, and I knew, the basic, I knew it was, a sci-fi space movie. And then just to find out it was coming out today was the craziest thing. And then I of course, was like, I have to watch it immediately. Give me a sec. Because I love Cloverfield movies. I remember I saw the first one. I bought it on iTunes. I don't know why. I liked it. It's not that great, but I liked it. And then when the second one came out, I remember when the trailer for that one came out, it was the craziest thing too. Because I was at Disney and it was the coolest trailer. And it was it's only a few months away, and I was like, cool. And it looked like it was a perfect trailer. And then this one, I didn't care much of the trailer, except that I saw there was an arm in it, a severed arm crawling around. I was like, that's cool. But yeah, let's talk about the movie now. I don't know the director, but he did a great job in this movie. Not the God Particle. It's called the Cloverfield Paradox. It's a prequel to Cloverfield. Yeah, I think the order goes God Particle. The Cloverfield Paradox, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Cloverfield. Yeah. Well, 10 Cloverfield Lane takes place before and after Cloverfield, I think. But yeah, I really love Cloverfield Lane a lot, and so I was really excited for this movie, and it was good. Not as good as Cloverfield Lane, but better than Cloverfield, I think, because this movie has a lot to do with it gets really interesting once the shepherd works. At first it's you're like, oh yeah, this whole crew is here, and then they do this shepherd thing where it's all about the Earth had no more energy, so they had to go up to space to go find a way to make sure get more or whatever, and they build this machine, and they're trying to I don't even know, particle acceleration, I think it was. And then, there's this guy on Earth who wrote a book, and he's like, oh, no, they're doing this, and if they mess up, it could open up a portal, to new dimensions, and, that could be monsters and aliens and everything, and they're like, shut that off, and I'm like, what? And apparently, countries are at war with each other, or, starting to be at war. And then it really gets interesting, though, when the shepherd works, and they find a lady in the wall. The douchey Russian guy starts to his eyes start not working well, and Chris O'Dowd, his arm falls off. That's when it really gets interesting, and this movie is just fantastic. David Oyelowo is great. The main girl character, if I knew her name, she is also great. I'm looking it up. Gugu Mbatha-Raw. That's a great name. She's great. Daniel Bruhl is awesome in this, as usual. Elizabeth Debicki. Many Marvel people from the MCU, with many minor roles. Elizabeth was she was one of the Sovereign. Daniel Bruhl was the bad guy in Civil War, and then Chris O'Dowd was what's her name? Natalie Portman's boyfriend in Thor 2, and that's funny. But yeah, everyone did fantastic. The twists and turns were cool when the whole dilemma of what matters more, what would you do for your family, or what's more important, your family or your the entire world. And it just asks so many questions, and I'm just like, I don't know. Would I save my family or the entire world? And like, there's so much backstabbing and like sacrifices, and like when David Oyelowo just sacrificed himself, that was the coolest thing. When Elizabeth turned bad, that was the coolest thing. Yeah, the whole twist with like Daniel Bruhl's a bad guy, but he's not. And it turns out Elizabeth is, and I'm like, what? It's great. Chris O'Dowd is fantastic. He's hilarious in this movie, and he's just sitting there talking about his arm, and he's like very okay with it, which is weird. But yeah, he was great. But yeah, what was it? Gugu was very good in this movie. I felt for her, man. I was so sad, like watching her like be like, I need to go talk to my kids. You're like it makes sense what David Oyelowo is saying. It's like, oh, it's not rational. Do not go back there and talk to those. Like, that's not your family. And she's like, you don't even understand. And I'm like, you're right. I don't understand. Like, if I lost my kids, oh, but that message she sends to herself at the end is so beautiful. And then like the ending where it's like, I love. Like, oh, this felt like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where it has one of the characters sacrifice himself for everyone else. And they're like, no, don't do it. And then, like, at one point, like, one character's yelling at another, like, desperately for them not to do something. David Oyelowo's... No, not David Oyelowo. Gugu's husband is like, do not tell her to come back. But, like, honestly, like, what are the other options? Like, she's gotta come back. Like, you know, you can't stay on that space station. And then the Cloverfield part happens, which I feel like this is the part of the movie that people are not gonna like. Because, they didn't like 10 Cloverfield Lane because of the ending, when you start to see the monsters, aliens, or whatever they are. And at the end of this movie, you just see the little, like, escape pod come down to Earth, and it just falls through the clouds, kind of in the back of the screen, and then this giant-ass monster from the first movie, it's the same one, I think, shows up, and he just roars twice, and then that's the end of the movie. Out of the clouds. Like, I think this is weird, because, like, I don't think it's the same monster. Well, like, it's too big to be the same monster, right? Like, the first one was, like, as big as a city. Not as big as a city, but, like, you know, it could walk around like a city and people see it. But then this one is like, yes, I am bigger than a state. Unless the clouds are really low or something. I don't know. But, I loved it. I was like, that's weird, and I love it. And, like, all this stuff with like multiverses and different dimensions and like aliens and monsters is so sci-fi, and it's so cool and interesting. And like, you know, the idea of like, oh man, I'm in another dimension, can I just go live there? What does that even mean? Like, and pick your poison. Do you want a world at war or monsters? I don't even know. That was just so great. Not as good as the second one. This made me want to watch 10 Cloverfield Lane though. But yeah, it was definitely, I would say, I don't know. I haven't seen the first one in a long time, but I love this universe. It's so great. What else happened? Oh yeah, like a week ago, they're like, oh yeah, this movie Overwatch, that's a World War II movie about two guys behind enemy lines, and they're like in like some research facility back in World War II. Yeah, it's a Cloverfield movie, and I'm like, what? So this stuff is going back all the way to World War II? Like, what does that even mean? I thought the monsters just showed up now. I don't even know. I feel like it was kind of unnecessary seeing her husband, Gugu's husband, his story at home with some girl. Like, I mean, I guess it gives you a nice little frame of reference of, like, what's going on back there, but, like, yeah, it's alright. It was not too long. I was happy about that. Only an hour and 43 minutes, which is nice. I was so tired, though, because it's like 1 a.m., and, like, I shouldn't be that tired, but I am. I love it, though. I can't wait. Give me as many Cloverfield movies as you want. Like, I will go watch. I'll pay for all of them. Just make them fun, cool, interesting, and weird. Just weird. Like, have them just be a normal-ass movie for the first like 9/10 of it, and then the last 10th of the movie just be like aliens. Do we mention this is about aliens? Like, and I love how they worked in the Cloverfield title into it. Like, it's called Cloverfield because The Cloverfield paradox is what they did to open up the other dimension. So Cloverfield is like the act of like those monsters coming out, being there, like that whole thing happening, transpiring, and then like 10 Cloverfield Lane is just a cutesy like, oh yeah, this is like where they lived. I guess. I don't know. And then this explains the theory behind it, I guess. I don't even... How it happened. How the first one happened. I don't even know. These movies are weird, man. They're weird. But yeah, I'm so happy. This is crazy. What viral marketing. Like, everyone was talking about it. Like, Han Solo trailer looked like crap. Mission Impossible looked cool, but like this, I was like, I need to see this immediately. I don't know if everyone else did, but like I heard other people talking about it, so I imagine it's vaguely popular. I love it. I could see people watching this being like, yeah, it was a cool, interesting sci-fi movie for a while, and then just some alien showed up, and I'm like, yeah, but that's like the thing, because people don't realize these movies started as like it was a found footage monster movie. You know, so it was about monsters at first. That's the genre. And then it became like a dramatic thriller. And then it became a sci-fi movie. Like, it's so funny how this, like, I want like a different genre for each Cloverfield movie. I want a Western Cloverfield. I want a romantic comedy Cloverfield. I want an animated Cloverfield. I want a documentary Cloverfield. District 9 style. But yeah, fantastic. I don't know. Will I watch it again? But you know what? Just because of that awesome, like, viral marketing, and it was super interesting. I'm probably, like, and I love this series so much. For me personally, it's going to be a 5 out of 5. Because, like, I'm definitely going to watch it again one day. But I could totally see someone being like, yeah, this movie, it was okay. It was okay. Like, if you don't like the series. But, like, if you're into the series, you're going to love this. If you're not, it's still an interesting little sci-fi movie. Don't be weird about the alien. There's an alien at the end. So just brace yourself for that. Because I can see people being like, it was okay until the alien showed up. What the heck? But yeah, because I remember I put the 10 Cloverfield Lane as number 4 on my 2016 top 10 list. People were like, oh, that movie is crap. What are aliens doing in that movie? And I'm like, shut up. They're alien movies. This is what it's about. But yeah, 5 out of 5. Adam, this was the craziest day ever. And you get another Cloverfield movie this year, so get excited for that. This is weird. Keep doing this, though. Other movies should do this. Release your movies on Netflix. Who cares? Maybe it might blow up like Stranger Things, you know? But yeah, that's it. Adam, in the future, do you still like Cloverfield? I don't know. You probably do. This is cool. The Eagles won. That was miserable. You hate the Eagles. That's your second least favorite team of all time, and they won. The main character looked like Tamsin in this movie. I just want to point that out. Other than that, though, yeah, keep loving movies, Adam, and keep doing creative things like this, movies. All right, love you, movies, and Adam, I guess. Bye.